Hello?
Hey, Greg. Greg, when you talk about Arian Foster, what do you see from this guy? And he's kind of not really come out of nowhere. But he went undrafted, and now he's the leading rusher in the league.
Yeah, his stats speak for themselves. His film speaks for himself. This guy's a great back. He's got size. He's got great speed, and he's got the ability to cut downhill. And he's also a great pass receiver. This is one of the really good backs in the league.
Greg, when you look at the offense of the Texans, I believe they've scored more fourth quarter points than anyone in the league. That's something that obviously catches your eye with the way the defense has been playing.
Yeah, they've scored a lot of third quarter and second quarter points too. They've done a great job on scoring. They're a very good offense, and now getting Owen Daniels back will even make them better. We're gonna have to be on our A game. There's no question about it. And we've done a lot of film study on him, and as of today's practice, we had a really good practice today. So I really believe our guys know what they have to do, and we'll do it.
Is this back different from a lot of the other backs you've seen? Is he kind of like a little more like Mendenhall a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's two categories. There's the big guy that can go downhill, and there's the big guy that can take it outside and go downhill, and that's this guy. He's a real deal.
And when you have a running back like him who's in for all three downs because he can run and catch the ball, does that make it easier on the defense because you don't have to game plan for another running back to come in?
No, in fact, the backup running back, Ward, when he's come in, he's done a really good job also. The thing that makes their offense so successful, too, is the fact that if you try to load the box up to try to stop that run, say, hey, listen, we're gonna make sure we got more guys in the box and we'll stop the run. And now you got Johnson outside, you got Daniels, you got Jacoby, you got some very skilled guys, and the quarterback I think is 8th in the NFL ranking wise. So you can't make a steady diet of saying, hey, we're going to bring everybody down in there and stop that run. Our guys got to stop the run with what we're doing in there and mix it in and out. Some 8-man front, some 7-man front, and do some different things. You can't just sit in with the same thing.
Greg, with Johnson, is it one of those cases where he's open because of his size, whether he's beating you down the field with his speed or he's just running down the field and posting you up?
I think he's open a lot of times because people do bring a safety down in the box to stop the run, so he's single covered out there a lot. I think that's what makes it difficult with him because he does demand double coverage by his talents and by what he's shown, but at the same time, when you're double covering somebody like that, now you're not as heavy inside. That makes your offense good.
What do they like to do in the passing game, and what does Schaub do well?
Schaub is very good at throwing the single route. Okay, in other words, in every pattern they have, they've got one guy that I think they believe is open, and if that guy's not open, that's when he goes to the check down. And it's kept him from getting hit a lot or sacked a lot, even though he's got, I think, 25 sacks, but he's done a great job of seeing, Johnson's there. If he's not there, I'm going to go right down to my check down, and it's made it a pretty safe deal and a very productive deal for him.
So they don't have a lot of different. He's not going to work through a number of different projections most of the time.
No. Their concept, I think you would say, would be a levels concept where they're going to bring a guy underneath and have a guy behind him. They're going to set a guy down on the numbers, and if he's not there, they're going to end up with a guy coming underneath or a check down. They're a real high-low type team.
Who else runs that?
Anybody
who's played?
Yeah, not
really,
specifically. In fact, I think our coaches have said that this is a very good offense in that they have really put in what's good for their talent. You got that big wide receiver out there, he's talented. Now you got a tight end coming in there, he's talented to do the crossing routes. And you can get the crossing routes with Johnson and him, so you got a high-low. And then you take those things away, you've got a great opportunity to check down to a really fast, good receiving running back.
Greg, a couple of the defensive guys said that kind of Foster reminds them of Ray Rice. Do you see sort of that with what he can do with the ball?
Yeah, a taller version, but the same kind of guy. The same thing. Ray Rice, you see him, he makes a lot of linebackers break their ankles. You keep telling it, and the thing that happens is say, okay, the linebacker, you better get close to him on a check down because he's going to make you miss. But now you've opened up the one right behind him. And that's what they're trying to get you to do. You got to make sure that we get guys cupping that when we come down.
they want to make games shootouts a lot of times. How big is it to avoid that, because they will try to score a lot of points in a hurry?
It's very big for us. I mean, anybody we play, we don't ever want to let that happen, obviously. And our guys know what this game's all about, and we're ready to go, and we understand this is the next big one. And so, they've worked their. I've really been proud of our defense, the way they came out this week, and we had tough practices, Wednesday, Thursday, and today, and not a guy was complaining. They just went about their business, and it really said a lot about those guys.